I'm going to talk with Steve about, is it a good time to buy a house? He's going to tell me the pros and cons of that. I want to bring this up really quick since we're on the show. And I want you guys to see this that I see. So right now, you're looking at the average price of a home. This rolling 12 months is $452,000. And new listings on the market, keeps declining. Now that's obviously over 12 months. If you want to do it as of a monthly, we can do that. So there's 3,000 homes that came on the market last month. It's very interesting. When you look at the last 7 days, the last week, our average median price home, closed price was $429,500, selling at a price per square foot of $235 a square foot. List price was $449. So it just tells you that, yes, we continue to kind of right around that 450 mark. That's that average that we're looking at.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Does that break it out to cash and financing deals?
So I did actually do that, and that's a good question. So if you want to know cash deals, we had 82 buyers. That's about 26% of all purchases.
Is that less or more
of the last week? Go ahead.
Is that less or more than a month ago or a year ago?
Well, I do it like a week to week. It's right on pace, I would say. It's always been about.
Hasn't varied much.
It hasn't varied much on the cash. I can say that conventional is 164, which is about 54%. Then you got FHA's 42, VA's 32. So these are purchases, right? And I mean,
that's strong.
It is strong.
With interest rates at 7.25% right now.
Yeah.
For this past month, they varied from.
So, go ahead.
Yeah, that's huge, I think, and it ties to the point you made earlier. When is a good time to buy a house?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say this. I say that, going back to this matrix here, you can see that we've been hovering right around that list price of $449, but you're seeing the average list price or sold is coming down. And
it's a buyer's market.
Well, my thing is this, is people want real. They don't want somebody to be like, real estate agents have to pay their bills. They're going to come out and say the market's crashing, things are going on, this is happening, yada, yada, yada. Rates are at 7%. You can still make sense of buying today if it goes to 10% and refinancing. I'm just going to say this is not the best time to buy a house. And I say this because if I was telling you to go buy a house today and this is the best market, I think I would be lying to you about this, right?
There's only two good times to buy a house.
When you need it and when you need it?
20 years ago or today?
Well, explain today.
Or when you need a house.
Today. If you need a house, today. If you're a first-time home buyer and you want a house.
You need it because you need somewhere to live and you don't want to pay rent.
You're never married to a rate. That's the old adage.
Right.
Location and local market is important. So if you hear, the prices are dropping 40% in New York, that has nothing to do with Las Vegas.
Yeah.
You just proved it, that the pricing is coming down, but it's still averaging 450, 445.
Well,
and that's a strong market. I think
here's the thing.
Rates.
What people are searching for online is they're not just searching for numbers and data, which they are. They're searching of when is the best time going to buy in the future, right? They're banking on rates are going to come down.
But then prices will go up.
But prices are coming down now.
Right, because the rates are high.
So they're trying to feel out, well, is prices going to continue to come down where it hits to that 410, 415 range, and do rates settle off? I think that's what the market's trying to figure out. If this is, once rates settle off and the market settles off, as far as inflation goes, we talked about 7.7. I think that's when you're going to start to see things kind of level off. I think the question though is, and you can maybe prove me wrong, is it a good time to buy today? And I can say that if somebody came and asked me, I'd say, well, listen, if you're asking me, is it a good time to buy because you're going to financially, it makes the most sense, I'm going to say no. If you're going to say, is this the best time to buy because of interest rate? No. If you said, hey, is this, we're double the price of a home in 2015, where average price was $205,000 here in Las Vegas, I'm going to say no. They're going to say, well, why would you buy it? Because it's either a need or a want.
Correct.
And right now,
thank you for clarifying that, because best time is a misnomer.
Yeah.
That's why I said 20 years ago or today. Because if you bought 20 years ago, you'd have great equity.
It depends on your variables. That's my motto in life, the variables. Okay, you may be buying in all cash. So it is a good time because you can negotiate lower. Okay, you may be getting divorced and there's equity in a home and you have to use, or a 1031. There could be all kind of reasons.
But 54% of the sales he just mentioned
I
were
agree.
conventional loans.
Right, I
which
agree.
is the majority of
Yeah.
the purchases in the
But
market
we're giving
right
a
now.
blanket statement. Is it a good time? So it depends
Right. So
on
you
your
have to go a little
variables.
deeper and say, well,
Correct.
what's the want or need?
Yeah.
So if so, like I had a gentleman tell me the other day, now's not a good time for me and my family to purchase. And I says, well, why? And he says, well, it just doesn't make sense financially.
'Cause he
I
did
said,
the
well, then it
numbers?
will never make sense for you. Because if you can't see the reality of the numbers today, what makes you what? If the
The
prices
payment. Maybe he couldn't afford the
to
payment.
get a payment at 7 or 7.25% to an average of $1,700, $1,800, you'd have to have a price of $300,000. Does that sound like the market's going to go to $300,000 on a 450 median? No,
Unless
hell
you get to
no.
a little townhouse.
If that's the case, we're all going to be broke because the market's going to crash, and that's not going to happen right now.